Hey everybody, and welcome to the Taco Bell drive-thru edition of Car Rides with Kevin. So buckle up. Hey, today's edition, we are talking about getting off the hamster wheel. And by the hamster wheel, we mean is this: doing today what you did yesterday, hoping you get paid more tomorrow. It's a very interesting dynamic, but a lot of people fall for this. We get sucked into this time in myth. We think that time in really makes all the difference when it really is a very small indicator of your success. No one wants to be in a situation where they say, hey, I've been at this company for 10 years, but it's really been year 2, 8 times. Not good. Not good. And the whole concept of the hamster wheel is this: do today what I did yesterday, hoping somewhere along the way I might get paid more tomorrow. And so all we got is this time in thing, and we just kind of dread everything that we do from day to day, because it's just there's nothing new and nothing exciting and nothing seemingly worth it. And so we wonder why people just kind of go through life with that kind of a zombie kind of thing, with work. And I think there's so much more out there for you. How do you get off the hamster wheel? The first thing you got to do is you got to try to add value. Your focus is not to do what you've been doing. It's to bring something new to the table. And you do that really in 3 ways. You add value by going first, by being first at something, by trying something that hasn't been tried, or bringing an idea to the table that maybe hasn't been heard before. Chances are, whatever it is that you do, you have ideas, things that you've been processing, that you've been thinking about. Hey, you know what? Someone ought to do something about this. Well, why not you? Why not you? And why wouldn't you bring that to the table and say, hey, let me give this a shot? The second thing is really when you decide that you're going to be best at something. It's when you really take this idea that I'm going to be ridiculously great at what it is that I do. Now, we're not talking about that through the lens of do today what I did yesterday. We're talking about how do you leverage each and every detail to maximize quality, or to bring about SOPs or whatever it is that you do to a whole nother level. And when you bring that kind of thing, and let me tell you what's beautiful about that. If you can add to that the ability to teach others what you're doing, and how you went about being best at what it is that you're doing, wow, you watch, you will get the attention of some folks, which is a good thing. And then the third thing is when you're different, when you set yourself apart. It's when you're unique. It's when you stand out in terms of how you do what you do, or how you manage a situation, or the team, or your individual responsibilities. What's unique about you, and again, unique is not about like doing it different to make everybody mad, or have to kind of like deal with whatever your shtick is that you want to try to bring to the table. We're not talking about that kind of unique. What we're talking about is the kind of unique that adds value, the kind of unique that raises eyebrows and lets everyone know that you think differently about little things. I always tell people it's really important that as a leader in an organization that you think big about small things. How do you go about thinking big? How do you dialogue about the process? What kind of measurables do you put in place that no one else is putting on you, but you're putting it on yourself because it stands out, it's different, and adds value to the organization? It's something that maybe people with that are above you or around you might want to leverage or take advantage of, or hear more about what it is that you're doing. When you do those things, ridiculously cool things happen. What I would call that is you get a pivot. All those things you do in terms of getting off the hamster wheel position you. But now you're in this world of getting a pivot. That's an opportunity. That's something where you get to be first at something, best at something, or unique at something else. You reinvent yourself every time you get a pivot. So you don't get stuck in one, because then you just get on another hamster wheel. What you do is you maximize every opportunity to take you somewhere new. And I know that can be kind of freakish That could be one of those things where you're kind of going like, man, Kevin, I don't know what to do with that. What if I don't have the goods? Guess what, folks? You're always going to have external struggles and internal struggles and philosophical struggles as you struggle through. You just got to honor the struggle like we talked about last time. Go on a date with the struggle. It is something you're growing into. So I want to challenge you as you emerge as a leader, as you emerge as a player in an organization, man, get off the hamster wheel. Don't get stuck on that bad boy. It will eat your lunch. Listen, there are so many opportunities that you can create for yourself. And let me give you one last one real quick. Hey, when you get a chance and you talk to someone who is above you and you're leading up in the organization, one of the best ways to do that is to align your priorities with theirs. When you sit down with them and say, hey, here are the things that I think are really important to what I do every day. Are they important to you? And then listen. And when they start saying, well, you know what? I see that you got number one there. That's usually account made number 3, but your number 2 is number 1 to me. And your number 5 is really number 2. And when you start going like, well, then go there. Why? Why is it like that? Well, he's going to start imparting wisdom upon you that, man, you better get a pen out and write it down. Because the way that he sees the world, the way that she sees the world, they see the world in a very different way sometimes than what you do because you've jumped on a moving train. They've been around for a while. They're doing their deal. So I just want to encourage you that as you say, hey, I want to align my priorities with you, and here are some of the things that I'm trying to do to add value in the organization, you're going to have one wicked cool conversation with somebody who can move the needle for you in your growth, in your leadership, and in opportunities. Don't miss this, friends. So, hey, that's what I got for you today. The drive-thru is clearing up. I'm going to head in and get myself a burrito supreme with extra sour cream. So, I'll see you next time on Car Rides with Kevin. Do some damage!